The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. In the remote western highlands of the United States lies a mysterious ranch. Known as the most deeply researched hotspot for paranormal phenomena on Earth. Over the past few decades, people have discovered giant animals with supernatural abilities, unidentified flying objects, UFOs, magnetic anomalies, and even portals leading to other dimensions. In 2007, the U.S. Department of Defense allocated $22 million, specifically to investigate the strange phenomena occurring at this ranch. This ranch is the Skinwalker Ranch, located in the Uinta Basin of Utah, a desolate and sparsely populated area. The strange name Skinwalker is believed to come from a local Native American legend, the Skinwalker Curse. Before European settlers arrived, two Native American tribes, the Navajo and the Ute, lived in this area. They had once forged a peace treaty and coexisted harmoniously. However, during the American Civil War, the Utes broke the treaty and allied with the U.S. Army to wage war against the Navajo. In response to this betrayal, the Navajo are said to have cursed the land the Utes had claimed, calling it the Skinwalker Curse. In Native American culture, a skinwalker is a witch or wizard capable of shapeshifting into animals or controlling them. Whether the Navajo really placed this curse is unclear, but strange creatures have indeed been discovered on the ranch. The Sherman family's arrival. The story begins with the Sherman family, who purchased the ranch from the Myers family. The property contract included a strange clause: no digging could be done without notifying the previous owners. Despite the odd clause, the Sherman couple, Terry and Gwen, were charmed by the reasonable price and beautiful surroundings, so they signed the contract without much thought. Soon after moving in, they discovered the ranch was filled with strange occurrences. First, the cupboards in their home, regardless of size, were always locked with heavy iron chains. Then, the doors would suddenly slam open and shut on their own. Soon, temporal disturbances began. Gwen spent hours organizing groceries into cabinets, only to find them back on the kitchen table when she returned. The children moved metal fencing into place for the cattle. But when they broke for lunch, everything had returned to its original position. Even more bizarre, Terry was working on the ranch when a 70-pound clamp disappeared right in front of him. Later, he found it hanging from the top of a 20-foot tree. Then, the cows began disappearing. These cows were vital to the Sherman family's livelihood. While some of the cows were eventually found, they were discovered in a gruesome state. Organs like their eyes, ears, and tongues had been surgically removed with expert precision. No human footprints or vehicle tire tracks were found nearby, and there wasn't even a trace of blood. Who or what could be responsible for mutilating these cows? The wolf with supernatural powers? Determined to find answers, the Sherman family began to keep a closer watch on their cattle. One day, a massive wolf, 3 times the size of a normal wolf, with gray fur and blue eyes, appeared. The wolf approached them calmly, as if unafraid, and even allowed them to pet it. As the family started to lower their guard, enjoying the wolf's company, it suddenly leaped into a nearby pen and attacked a 300-pound calf. Terry quickly grabbed a rifle and fired 4 shots directly at the wolf. The last shot was aimed at its heart. Terry was an experienced marksman, and the wolf was only about 10 feet away. Given the circumstances, any of these shots should have killed the wolf. Yet the wolf seemed to be wearing some sort of invisible armor. It showed no visible injuries, simply releasing the calf and retreating 30 feet before stopping and staring at them, as if unwilling to give up. Terry then took an even more powerful rifle from his son, a gun capable of taking down a moose from 200 meters away. At a distance of only 10 feet, he fired 2 shots. Terry saw the bullets pierce the wolf's body, but again, there was no sign of injury or blood. The wolf simply turned and ran, crossing a nearby stream before disappearing into the forest. Terry chased after it, but when he reached the wetland on the other side of the stream, the wolf's tracks simply vanished. Could it have disappeared through some kind of portal into another dimension? After this incident, the Sherman family encountered these giant wolves multiple times. Neighbors even claimed there was a pack living on their land. To the authorities to report these wolves, they were told that wolves hadn't existed in Utah since 1929. The last one was killed then. So, where did these wolves come from? Was it possible these wolves were skinwalkers in disguise? Another wolf story? Nearby, a young man named Ronald McCook, from a town 3 miles away, had an even stranger encounter. One winter day, he and a friend were hiding out in a cabin on the ranch, waiting for a game. Suddenly, they heard something outside knocking over objects. They rushed out to find human footprints in the snow, but strangely, the tracks were barefoot. Who would walk barefoot in winter? Excited, the two young men grabbed their rifles and followed the tracks. After some time, the footprints suddenly turned into wolf paw prints. They looked up and saw a gigantic creature, about 8 feet tall, resembling a wolf, but capable of standing on 2 legs. The creature pointed at them, seemingly warning them. Terrified, they fired at it. The creature roared and vanished into the trees. Years later, Ronald would still shudder as he recalled the encounter. The Shermans were left baffled. If these wolves were indeed skinwalkers controlled by witches or wizards, why would they mutilate the cows? Could witches or wizards also be involved in scientific research? The mysterious cattle mutilations. Had the Shermans researched the region before moving in, they would have discovered that cattle mutilations had been occurring since the 60s on the western highlands of the U.S., with most evidence pointing to extraterrestrial involvement. In fact, the former sheriff Chris Porrett once revealed that he had searched for 2 missing cows with the Myers family. When they found the cows, they too had been mutilated. At the same time, he witnessed a UFO hovering nearby. The mystery deepened with reports of strange occurrences in the Uinta Basin since 1906. Farmers reported hearing bizarre sounds coming from the ground, and UFO sightings began to increase in the 1950s. More than half of the locals in the basin had seen UFOs in the sky. One of the most credible UFO incidents occurred on September 4, 1978, when a local boy named Dale Woods saw a silver flying saucer hovering overhead, flashing green lights. His mother, initially skeptical, saw the UFO herself later that night. The police officer who investigated, David Murray, also confirmed seeing the same UFO, as did a journalist, Tentana Rasmussen, who reported it. Many other locals also came forward, lending credibility to the incident. UFO sightings at the ranch? Unsurprisingly, the Sherman family also witnessed UFOs shortly after moving to the ranch. They first saw a rectangular object about the size of a refrigerator, flying silently above their fence and over the treetops before disappearing. They also observed several triangular-shaped flying objects. One day, a massive UFO, resembling a large RV, hovered directly over the ranch. Inside, Gwen saw a giant figure dressed in black, sitting at a table and staring at her coldly. Was this figure controlling the giant wolves they had seen? The following day, they found large human-like footprints on the ranch, about 18 inches long. These were no ordinary human footprints. The orange portal. Terry often observed a massive orange disk in the western sky, resembling a light orange cloud or sunset. It seemed to appear in the same spot every time. One evening, using binoculars, Terry clearly saw a patch of blue sky in the middle of the disk, which he believed to be a window or gap leading to another world, where daytime was our nighttime. On one occasion, he saw a triangular object emerge from this window and expand rapidly as it flew towards the ranch. He speculated that this window was a portal to another dimension, with the ranch acting as an exit point for extraterrestrial visitors. Despite his theories, the Shermans' cattle continued to dwindle. In the spring of 1996, a blue orb appeared, disturbing the cattle and even killing their 3 sheepdogs. Devastated, the family decided to sell the ranch. By then, Skinwalker Ranch had gained notoriety. Billionaire Robert Bigelow purchased the property and organized a team of scientists to research the UFO phenomena. This project even received $22 million in funding from the U.S. Department of Defense. However, due to secrecy, their findings were never made public. In 2016, the ranch changed hands again. Billionaire Brandon Fugal teamed up with the History Channel to produce a reality TV show about supernatural phenomena. The show has aired 5 seasons, uncovering more and more secrets and attracting a large following. The team has dug deep to uncover the truth, trying to lure UFOs and capture incredible footage. But remember, the property's digging restrictions remain. And Fugal's team has faced numerous challenges in their quest for the truth. What secrets have they uncovered?
Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Share it, because some stories are meant to be discovered together. And stay curious. I'll see you in the next chapter.